Welcome to the show, everyone. We're now in day 3 of madness out there. But you know what? Stay cool, everybody. Just stay cool. We're networking with everybody out there. I tell everyone to talk to everyone within 3 feet of you, and that's exactly what we're doing here right through the radio for everybody out there. And I'm going to go in right with my first guest, who I can't wait to have back on the show with me. She was just recently here. I have with me Sandy Greenlee. She's the owner of Angels Cremation and Burial. Welcome back to the show. I am so excited about having you back because I remember the first day it was kind of like, I'm not sure, and you ended up loving it. Thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you, Carol. I'm grateful to be here today.
Yes. Now, I want to talk a little bit about you, because today you said that you wanted to talk about something in particular, and that's about pre-needs. So let's talk about that.
Well, I just think pre-needs are so important because if you're waiting until the very end and you don't know what people want, I mean, it breaks my heart when people come into the office and say, if I only knew what they wanted. And it's something Americans don't like to talk about. They think it's going to happen to somebody else tomorrow. But we need to wake up people. It's going to happen to us sooner than we think.
Yeah, it's not if, it's when.
Amen.
Right. Now, you've been doing this for 20 years here in Mesa?
Here in Mesa.
Amazing, amazing. And we're live on Facebook, so hi to everybody out there. Like us and follow us. And I know these are weird, you know, you think, oh, this is kind of morbid, but you know what? It's so important. The conversation to have at home beforehand, and then having a conversation with you to help pick and choose what you want to do, right?
Yes. When my dad died, we did not have any pre-plans at all, and so it was us 3 kids making all the arrangements and feeling overwhelmed and very stressed. When my mom died, we had already talked about it. We knew exactly what she wanted. We knew what we needed to have for closure, because sometimes even the person who is deceased does not agree with what the kids want, or the kids are all up in the air about what they want. And so having that conversation with those that are important to you is so important, because you can make changes right then and there instead of having somebody going to the psychiatrist or somebody angry or having a family feud because, well, that's not what mom wants, well, that's not what dad wants. And in fact, if you can talk about it in the beginning, then you know what everybody wants. And you can compromise. And compromise to me is the best plan, because everybody has to walk their path. And it's easier to walk it in peace than in anger and frustration.
I love that, what you just said there. And you know what? I've done mine. If I've done mine, you should do yours. I mean, seriously, it is very important. First of all, what's it do for you as a person? For me, it gave me a lift. I felt terrific, not only for myself, but for my girls, because I knew that I was taking care of something. Because what would happen if somebody didn't pay for it?
Well, then they go to the public fiduciary and they get to hang out in the cooler for 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 weeks.
Yes.
Because it's the government, and I'm not saying anything bad about the government, because there's certain hoops that have to be jumped through. And it's just difficult, it's challenging. Even some people have decided to do science donation. At the end, they find out that they've got a contagious disease. They find out they don't qualify. They find out that all the paperwork wasn't done, and so they're looking for a mortuary at 3 o'clock in the morning, which is not a fun time to be discussing and looking for and deciding what you want to do.
Now, you're located in Mesa.
Yes.
And what we're going to do is we're going to give out your website, which is Angels Cremation and Burial.com. The phone number is 480-962-6435, which is 96 Angel.
Yes.
And we want you to listen up, everyone. This is so good. First of all, and I'm not sure if we're going to be talking about it's the next one, cremation. Why is it so popular now as opposed to how it wasn't before?
Well, it's less expensive. A lot of people believe there's not enough land. I'm not convinced of that, because there's always more land. There has
They're
in
going
America.
on top of one another, from what I understand.
Well, that's when you're burying. And cremations, I mean, if somebody's buried, sometimes depending
how
on
did
the
cremation?
cemetery.
Oh, because they're going to put the urn in. Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
They'll let people put the cremains on the top of the caskets. It depends on the cemetery. Those are cemetery rules. They're not laws or regulations. I just think cremation, we live in a transient society. I moved to Arizona 30 years ago, and I was going to be here for 2 years. Well, my son died. That was way before I was even willing to look at cremation. I was going to bury him in Arizona. I was moving back to Wyoming. So my son is buried in Wyoming, and here I am in Arizona 30 years later.
Wow.
When you are cremated, you can pick up the urn, you can go wherever you want, you can do whatever you want. You don't have to feel like you're being pressured to spend a lot of money. to make a lot of decisions.
Makes a lot of sense.
It does. I mean, to me it does, and obviously it does to a lot of other people, because Arizona is about 75% cremation.
And I even think with people's religions, I'm not saying everybody has their different parts that they believe in, and that's fine, but even that is changing
now. Yes. I don't know of any religions other than the Muslims and Jews that do not cremate.
Right, but even they are, from what I know, because I know people that are, and they're Jewish, and so, they do, and there's certain reasons for it. Again, their phone number, please call, have that conversation. I think the conversation is so important within your family. Pick up the phone and have that conversation with Sandy. Her phone number is 480-962-6435. It's easy, 480-96-ANGEL. And the website is Angels, with an S, Creation and Burial.com. Okay, so let's talk about this. Do I sign my own cremation authorization, or does my family have to do that?
In Arizona, you can sign your own, and if it's notarized, it's cast in cement. It cannot be changed. If you do not sign your own, you have to have a legal next of kin. And it's amazing how many people do not have a legal next of kin, because they're separated, but they're not married, they're not divorced. There's 5 kids, and 3 of them are indigent, and so that you don't have any idea where they're at. And so we have to have the majority of the legal next of kin. So if you don't sign your own, you don't have to worry about it. And if you always make sure that it's signed and notarized, because that notary makes it real.
Yeah.
If it's not notarized, most mortuaries will say, yeah, who signed this and when was it signed? We can't accept it, because cremation is final disposition. If we make a mistake with burying somebody, we can dig them up and we can cremate them. When we cremate them, there's nothing that can be done. And so the state has very, very strict rules and laws and regulations.
They should.
Yes.
I mean, because you don't want to make a mistake.
That's right.
That would be the worst thing that can happen for somebody, absolutely. Now, how does somebody know that their money is safe if they do prepay it?
Well, your money is always safe if you put it in an insurance policy. It doesn't matter how many insurance companies that goes through, it's still there, it's still your money. It does not belong to the mortuary. And if you put it in a trust, I've known several people that have lost their money in a trust. They've lost part of their money in a trust. And so it's just a blessing to put it in an insurance policy. Then it's yours.
Now, it's almost 2 minutes already that we have, so here we're going to go. Can they make partial payments? Can they make payments on it?
You can make payments, but it's going to end up costing you more, because the insurance company is in business to make money. Unless you pay for it all in upfront, then if you pay for it upfront, it's guaranteed. There's no additional fees.
So what is this? Do I have to come into the office, or can they be made at home?
A lot of people make them at home. With COVID, we've done a lot of real creative things. We've mailed, we've emailed, we've texted, all kinds of things. I mean, we have to have signatures on paperwork, but we've had to find new ways to do it.
Here's this one. Are there additional fees if somebody prepays?
No, in fact, that's the guarantee. If you prepay,
that's why I did it.
It's good for life. I mean, if you live 10 years, or you live 2 months, or you live 20 years, or you live 50 years, you're paying the price of the year that you got your prepaid.
And
so
it's
that's
all
the
done,
blessing.
it's all said and done, and actually you'll feel a lot better. The best thing to do is to have a conversation with you, someone like you. You've been around for 20 years here in the Valley, in Mesa, and you do free consultations with people.
Yes, we do.
That phone number again, it's 480-962-6435. It's easy. It's 96-ANGEL. The website it's Angels, that's with an S, Cremation and Burial.com. I agree with her. Let's make this conversation an easier conversation, and it'll be much easier on you and everyone else. 480-962-6435.